Mayor Suarez, how would you clean up this mess that Graham forced him to leave? What would you do?
Look, it's actually not that difficult, right? You just cannot implement socialist policies, right? So what happened? What have we done in Miami that's very different from a lot of these cities, right? First is we never got into the defund police movement.
Never.
Right?
That was never a thing in Miami.
On the contrary, we actually increased funding for police officers. We have more officers than we've ever had in our history. So this nonsense of defund police never happened. Secondly, and you see it manifesting itself in that video, the concept of no cash bail, right? Where you get arrested and then you're back on the street. You don't even have to post bail. And you're back on the street. There's no consequence. There's no consequence to committing crime, right? We live in a society of laws. There's supposed to be a consequence when you break the law, right? You go to jail and then you have to stand for trial, et cetera, et cetera. When you take away all those things because you want to be sympathetic, what you end up doing is you have a situation where now CVS, how many articles have we seen of CVS and Walgreens and people shuddering, saying, hey, look, the loss is greater than the gain, right? So who gets hurt? So now you're trying to be sympathetic to the person who's committing crime, and what you're ultimately doing is you're diminishing the quality of life of every single other citizen. We have this issue a lot with homelessness, right? You want to be very humane with the homeless. They're human beings. Absolutely, you have to be humane in the treatment of homeless, but you also have to understand that their actions impact everybody else. And so there are things that, were previously legal for the homeless to do in the city of Miami that we changed through federal laws and federal case, where before they could basically defecate and urinate in public. They called them life-sustaining activities, and they weren't even required to go to a bathroom if there was a bathroom within a certain feet distance, right? Things that you and I couldn't do. We couldn't just go outside, pull our pants down and go to the bathroom, right? We'd get arrested for indecent exposure. Mm-hmm. So there was almost like this sort of two-tiered system. And so for us, we never got into no cash bail. We never got into defund police. We increased funding for our police officers. We maintained law and order when the George Floyd protest happened. Things never got out of control in Miami because I said, look, there's a line here, right? The line is, we're not going to let you harm people's property, and we're not going to let you harm people, and we're not going to let you harm police officers. If you try to do any of those things, we're going to arrest you. We're going to hold you accountable. And we did. And so there was no Antifa. There was none of that came here. Everybody, to the extent that they might have been here on day one, they were gone. Mm-hmm. And so we had very little arrest. We were able to manage that very intelligently. And then I think there's two other pieces, right, to crime prevention. We have the lowest unemployment rate in America. Full stop. Okay, highest wage growth in America. Full stop. So, and these are qualitative rankings, but we're ranked the happiest city in America and the healthiest city in America. So it turns out if you're happy, you're healthy, you're working, and there's police officers, guess what you're not doing? Committing violent crime or committing crime, right? So it's not like a super complex formula, right? It's sort of basic. And we've gotten away from it because we've let these sort of socialist ideologies, which for me, I think the biggest danger in the world is communism and socialism, because my parents got kicked out of their country of birth when a leader there said, give us all your property, give us all your businesses, and don't worry, we'll make everybody equal. And he did. He made everybody equally poor and equally miserable. And
thanks, Fidel.
Yeah. But by the way, it's the easiest sell in politics.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.